What's that? Houston? Houston? Oh, okay. What I'm hearing is Houston, we have a problem. Hold on. We might have a bigger problem here. No, it's not going to blast me out. Hello, everyone. This is Uncle Vigilante, and I unapologetically cover Epic Cash. And this is Wednesday. As you can see by the title of the show, it's Captain Kirk in the Future of Money. The date is 8/3/22, and it says series intro with Todd Lewis and Max Freeman. The reason why it is titled Captain Kirk in the Future of Money is that this series is going to be all about monetary policy, the future of money. And we want to go through a little thought experiment on what on earth would a loaf of bread be if Captain Kirk is buying it wherever he is now, because through Priceline.com, Captain Kirk can actually fly into the future. What I didn't realize is that he was going to take Max Freeman and Todd Lewis with him. And I didn't get the invitation. So here I am. It's just me and you. And thank you. Thank you for the, let's see, we have one person watching, and I think that's me. Hold on. I'm going to say hello to myself. Hello. And I'm going to say, smash that like button and comment. Hey, welcome, Flavio Santos. Welcome to the show. But yeah, guys, I'm flying solo here. I sent these guys an invite. Now, spirit of full disclosure, I guess Captain Kirk used Todd Lewis to hijack a school bus that had Todd Lewis's kid on it. So I don't know what year in the future that they actually ended up at, but Todd Lewis is finding it incredibly difficult to get back to August 3rd, 2022. Houston. Oh, Houston. All right. Houston, come in. You found Max Freeman. You found Max Freeman, Houston. Let's see if we can get him in here. Let's see if he if he can make it without Max Freeman. Are you there?
Hello.
Oh, we got him. Houston, we got him. Max, I was telling everybody that we have a problem. And that
Houston, there's no problem.
No,
Houston has no problems.
There was a problem because Captain Kirk, this is titled Captain Kirk in the Future of Money. Captain Kirk, I didn't know that he took you and Todd Lewis to the future through a Priceline.com. And you guys just didn't make it back in time for the show. So I don't know what happened. You were able to, what is that called in Star Trek where they
teleport?
They teleported back. So you were able to get here. So good job. And
did a dog eat Todd's homework?
A dog in the future ate Todd Lewis's son's homework.
He has a tendency to be fashionably late.
He does. He said, I apologize. My son's school schedule has derailed me here. So
there are a few people in the world that keep me waiting, and it doesn't piss me off. He is one of them. So he can be as late as he likes. Everybody else, like 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. I show up on time, you can't do.
Yeah, says the one who showed up 10 minutes late, Max.
Exactly. Touche. Normally. But, in my hierarchy of priorities, I was out for a lovely morning stroll with my wife. So as you know, I love Epic with all my heart, but there is one thing in the world I love more. So, I'm sorry for being a little late, but our walk was slightly extended.
Hey, that excuse doesn't hunt. I love my wife too. All right, because you're basically implying because I'm on time that I don't love my wife. And yes,
whoa, no,
yes,
not at all.
so
Not at
does
all.
not,
No.
does not.
No. I was
All
making
right.
a statement about me, not about you. Anyway, let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business, and it's just not going to be the same without Todd Lewis. So we are going to give him a mulligan. He may show up and he may not, but in case he does,
what's the story?
His story is that his school schedule with his kid changed and it derailed him here. So I said, what does that mean? You'll be a little late, a lot late, or should we postpone? And then I decided, no, man, the show must go on. So even if it's just me and you, or even if it's just me, I was.
Well, hold on. Yeah, thank you for your service. I just pinged Johnny. Let me see if he's available.
Oh, cool. That would be
let me
great.
see. Let me see Alpha if he's available. So
nice.
just that guy.
That would be nice. In the meantime, last night I had a live stream with my good friend Ab. We do that every Tuesday. It's really his show. I'm on it. We just figured out how I can live stream the show on the Uncle Vigilante channel as well. And I've gotten positive feedback from it. You don't see my face, so maybe that's why we're getting positive feedback. But we go down a lot of rabbit holes on that show that include conspiracy stuff. And yesterday we did as it relates to the future of money and CBDCs. And I think it was a very good show. I hope people go back and watch it. And I hope more people watch those Tuesday evening live streams, because it's just going to be a little different than what you're used to. But one thing that we did cover, and while you're trying to get Johnny and Alpha, I wanted to show everyone this just to reinforce again that how do you make money in crypto? Well, first of all, you buy the hardest money in crypto, which historically it was BTC. Oh, Todd Lewis is coming into the house.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
On Donkey Kong.
Oh my Lord.
Todd Lewis is in the house, so I'm going to scrap all of that.
Bringing the heat.
the very late antisocial heat.
So Todd Lewis, we were just contacting Houston because obviously Captain Kirk sent you a Priceline.com ticket to the future, and you just couldn't figure out which time to get back. So I'm glad you guys finally figured it out.
I was trying to get my kids out the door to school. I apologize.
That's all right. Hey, the show was going to go.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, as well it should.
As well it should. You're a little echoey. I don't know if. Yeah, there you go.
Live long and prosper, my friends.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
I'll fix it.
Okay, you'll fix it, because I think that we like actually hearing Todd Lewis.
Is this any better?
Versus the echo.
Is this any better?
No.
Well, shit.
No.
I don't hear an echo. Weird.
You don't. That was me. Okay, you don't hear an echo? Well, hey, everyone in the chat, Todd, maybe say something really intelligent, and let's see if we can hear an echo.
Let's see. Today I learned about the Yukawa potential, which is almost identical to the electrical potential and is an inherent part of, or a fundamental part of, the standard model of physics. And I'd never heard of it before.
Wow. I was looking at the same article, and you sound great, by the way. So whatever you did fixed it. So
I have no idea what the Yukawa potential is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to come up otherwise in today's call. So we're probably safe.
If you want to take it offline afterwards, you can just give me a buzz, and
you can give me the TLDR version. Yeah.
Yes, I can. Okay. Well, look, thank you for coming. And who cares if it was a little bumpy? It was kind of fun at the beginning, and everybody at least knows the show does go on with or without our guests. And what I was going to show you, I'm not going to. So you'll just have to tune into last night's show, what I was going to show you just to kind of waste some time and give you some time. All right. So look, we got a bunch of people in the chat, 12 watching and only 7 likes. Come on, people. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, get me back up to 2,910 subscribers so they can wipe me back down to 900. Okay, so why is this titled Captain Kirk and the Future of Money? Well, we, of course, finalized our Quest for Superior Money series, which I now have an edited document. And Max, I know you spun up a Google Docs sheet. I was trying to find it this morning. I can't remember where, but we need to finalize those definitions, and then I can order them alphabetically and then send it in for a final edit. So we're really, really close, people, to be able to giving you guys that interactive worksheet. So thank you, Todd.
Can you do it? Can you? Sorry to interrupt. Echo off. Okay. So, Uncle, can you help me out and post that link in the Exegetes and Hierophants group, and let's get the hive mind on it. I noticed some things. We could definitely flesh out each of those, and those are the people in that group to do it. So, all right, just,
my problem is, where is the Google Docs link that you sent me? Did you email it or did you put it in? Because I couldn't find it. I was looking for it.
That's a good question. DM me offline. DM me offline. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But I will help unblock that for you.
Okay. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. That's smart. Then we can employ the hive mind. That'll be excellent. Okay, so we were just kind of thinking about, all right, we just don't want these Wednesdays to go without a little Todd Lewis and Max Freeman. I sure have fun with these, and so we wanted to think about, well, what could the next series be? And Todd had thrown out, how about talking about monetary policy, history, future, and just as we are prone to do, we kind of go down the smart aleck trail. And we were talking about Captain Kirk with inflation, today's inflation. Can you imagine what Captain Kirk is paying for a loaf of bread in the future now? I mean, it has to be obscene. That'll be $17 quadrillion, Captain. So that's why we have Captain Kirk in here, but it's really about the future of money and monetary policy. Now, everybody knows.
Uncle, can I?
Yeah.
I think it's about the death of monetary policy.
Okay. Look, see, this is what's cool about this show is we don't come with notes.
That's not true.
I know
I have a note.
Yes, you do. Oh my gosh, $10 trillion. Oh, that does look deathful.
Yeah.
Wow. Where's the
this is monetary policy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
This is monetary policy. And this is the second big thing that I think got lost in the evolution of cryptocurrencies from the earlier days, where we talked a lot about the nature of money, the future of money, how to use technology to solve the money problem. And then we had a bunch of speculators and hype men come in with a million projects trying to make a quick buck, just trying to do greater full investing and all that nonsense, which is really just a distraction. Right?
Okay. Yep.
And the discussion really got away from what problem are we trying to solve here? What is the problem? And I think the first series that we did a good job of explaining the nature of the problem. What does good money look like? What are we trying to achieve when we build good money? And for Epic, our big suggestion is that the major unfinished piece is fungibility, and we think Mimblewimble is the solution to that. And Epic is a vehicle for our trying to make that a reality. But the other category of question is what function does money serve in society, and what are the failures to which money has been susceptible in the past, and what does that tell us about the failures that it's susceptible to in the future? And the biggest failure that modern money is susceptible to is that it's political. And the reason I say it's the death of monetary policy is price controls for capital.
Right, back up. Price controls for capital.
Yeah. Why?
Unpack that a little.
The interest rate is the price at which borrowers and lenders do business.
Okay.
Why is that decision made by a committee in a building in Washington, D.C.?
Right.
Exactly.
Can I, just because you referenced it, I just want to share with everybody on the screen what you're seeing is the spreadsheet, the quest for superior money that we went through. And I checked the boxes on Epic and the CBDCs, the Federal Reserve Digital Credits, because I believe the future of money, the people who are in charge are trying to make it this column. They're doing their level best. We are trying to keep it in this column. So I'm going to stop screen sharing, but as you there,
and we continue to work to make it all check marks on the left.
Yeah, and the only two are widespread acceptance, which of course it's not, and then quantum future proof, which we have as a future feature.
Uncle, I know you like to show a little leg and give people things to be hopeful about. I'm comfortable at this point talking, if you'll allow me.
Sure.
I'll skip the timer because it's in the other room, and I should be brief anyway about Freeman Express, but our partner Ibanera, two partners, Ibanera and PLI cards. We are working on making it so that if you have Epic, you can off-ramp onto fiat and buy things in stores and online with debit and credit card and Alipay and WeChat Pay and wire transfers and Zelle and PayPal and Square and Cash App and all that stuff. And also be able to on-ramp using fiat through buyepiccash.com and other stuff. So I've been working on Freeman Express for the better part of 5 years now. And it's finally, when I go to a store and do that first transaction, oh my God, they'll be like having a baby. It's been such a journey. So we're getting pretty close. Things are looking good on that.
Back the bus up. So what you're saying is that if I have, the hardest part, frankly, I think that's getting in the way between us and mass adoption on Epic is that first people need to have BTC to go be able to buy it on the Vite exchange. And what you're telling me is somehow, some way that if I have $1,000 that I want to get into Epic Cash, that I can, through Freeman Express, be able to send my $1,000 of fiat and then ultimately have Epic price without having somebody sell it to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
How can you do that?
Yeah. So essentially, Freeman Express is Coinbase. So, well, I mean, what Coinbase can do, Freeman Express can do. So you have fiat, you want to buy coins, you have coins, you want to get off to fiat. It's not a technology problem, it's a licensing problem and a business problem. And we have been fortunate enough to connect with the right partner. Ibanera is owned by Elevon, which is a major credit card processor that's part of the US Bancorp group, I think they're called. And they have relationships with Cross River and DBS. So essentially, we've got a very solid plug. They have about 300 clients, I found out today, so we'll be 301 into the existing system. So it's taken a long time, but we finally got to the point where if you have your if you have fiat dollars and you want an easy button to just click buy now, buy Epic, that is within reach. It's the fiat on and off ramp piece that has been majorly blocked in terms of holding back adoption, and finally that dam is about to burst.
So on Freeman Express, it would be like on Vite, you're going to have sellers and buyers, right? So if I put $1,000 onto Freeman Express, I still need to go through finding a buyer.
No. It'll be just like, have you ever used Cash App?
I have not personally, no.
Okay. Have you ever used Uniswap?
Yes.
Okay. So you say, I want $100 worth of coins, click a button, boom, you're done.
Okay. But where is the market price?
So it will be under the hood. It goes out to the market and obtains coins for you at whatever the price is. So today the market price is somewhere around 3,600 sats. However much inventory there is out there, it will go buy that inventory for you and take a tiny fee for that service. That's how it works.
That is
so. It's basically it's a pass through. It's an extremely low friction pass through. The fees are going to be way lower than Coinbase or Binance or any of those guys. No shady tactics. Service will be faster. Basically, the goal of Freeman Express, strategically, wearing my Epic hat for a second, is not to have like American Express wants to maximize the juice that it gets from the squeeze of its customers. More profit for them makes their shareholders happy. Here, I want Freeman Express to just be the easiest, lowest friction, most accessible, open to everyone possible way to crack that baby open, so that everyone everywhere can access their spending power online and in stores. So we're going to keep it really lean. So I've been deep diving on the fee structures, comparing Kraken, Gemini, FTX, Binance US. I can tell you what it costs to do an ACH transfer as an example. So really getting into the weeds. But I think once we can use our value, that, like right now, it's kind of theoretical. Oh, you have $1 million worth of Epic or 1,000 or whatever, but what can you do with it? But when you can go and actually buy something with it, oh my God. That's a whole different ballgame.
That'll be a game changer. Okay, cool. All right, Toddy, we interrupted you on where were we? Let's get back to.
We were talking about the death of monetary policy.
Okay, so how do we go ahead and just take it out back and bury it, and then build
monetary policy is using political control of the money supply to manipulate the price.
Yes.
So this is how the Federal Reserve controls the US dollar interest rate. It's how the ECB controls the euro interest rate. Is they buy and sell dollars, but mostly they dump dollars onto the market. They very rarely take them back.
Right.
It's funny how that works. In order to control prices. And the direction they control prices is always in favor of the politically connected people with access to bank credit, the largest constituent of whom is the government.
Now, on the screen, does that have any impact on our purchasing power, Todd? I mean,
just a bit, just a bit. And this is the eternal challenge of productive people in a fiat currency regime. Is their and when people wake up to this, they get very offended. They're like, I work hard, I save my money. Why am I the one that they're penalizing? And the answer to that is, who else are they going to take money from other than responsible, hardworking, thrifty people who save their money? No one else has any money to take it from.
That's funny.
I painted this bullseye on my chest, and I'm shocked that I'm the subject of target practice.
Oh my gosh.
And this is one of the magical things that crypto makes possible, is a technological means for people to pivot to a form of money which is immune from political control. And this is what you see in all of the political, rumblings about we have to have KYC, we need to have regulation, we need to, we can't have, in Europe, we can't have people taking private custody of their coins. They have to leave them on deposit with a regulated institution, because they're desperately trying to keep control of people's savings vehicles, because otherwise, how are they going to exploit it?
Well, Todd, I have a little bit of a pushback on you about crypto and how these, my words, Druid Babylonian bastards, how crypto is the savior for it. Look here. Oops, we don't need to see that, do we? But the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, they announces new tech innovation office to oversee crypto. So there we go. They're already putting everything in place to be able to control crypto. I know this is I'm just throwing this out here as bait for you, but can you speak to that? Because this is all about them wanting regulation over this emerging technology, is it not?
It is. And here's the really funny thing. Bureaucrats play bureaucratic games and technologists play technological games.
All right.
I think we're going to win.
Okay. How could we beat that back? I mean, how could Epic? Let's talk Epic, because
you and I had this discussion before, Unc, where you said, "Oh, the governments are so powerful, and that they have all this money and they have all these resources."
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to make it illegal to teach people the mathematics of elliptic curves? Are you going to make it illegal for us to put the source code on a T-shirt or publish it in an advertisement in the New York Times?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is the exact mechanism by which you're going to keep this knowledge out of people's hands? Are you going to make, we can run, you remember the old Doom video game from the 1990s?
Never got into it personally because
that was my favorite.
But you remember it, right?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah. I was into
three years ago.
I was into Barbies back then. I had 4 daughters, so
I understand. 3 years ago, someone got the full Doom video game running on a home pregnancy test.
What?
Home pregnancy tests have enough compute power nowadays to run cutting edge 3D video games from the 1990s. And on the little LCD screen, it's the funniest damn video you've ever seen. You can see like the Wolfenstein characters and you're pivoting around and it's got and you use the button and you use the buttons on the pregnancy test to control the thing, right? In a world where disposable pregnancy tests have enough compute power to run cutting edge video games from 20 years ago, how precisely are you going to stop people from using mathematics?
Right.
What are you going to do? Well,
here's what they're going to do. They're going to use the mainstream media to scare everyone away from engaging in this terroristic activity.
Yes.
Right. So people will just be so then wouldn't that imply that, let's just say, Epic is the parallel solution to the CBDCs that they want to enact? Could they not then basically through the TV tell everyone that if you use this parallel form of payment, Epic Cash, versus the CBDCs, the merchant is going to be fined and taken out back and shot, and you could go to prison. Couldn't they do that?
Absolutely they can, and I'd be astonished if they don't.
Okay.
Now, does that stop us from doing QR codes and Bluetooth and getting Epic adopted around the world? And some portion of people are going to be fooled into, like meek little lambs staying on the farm waiting for the slaughter. And some are going to jump over the fence and roam free and bring their earning power with them. And it's an individual choice. Which side do you want to be on?
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I think the discussion of monetary history is so useful, because we've seen this happen many, many times in the past.
That's a good point.
But wait, Todd, you and I have seen this happen, which is why we have the eyes to see and recognize what's going on. But that's because we've studied this, but most people haven't. Like if you don't know this story, this is novel information. So, I think we need to continue to work to educate people about this stuff. The story's been told many times. You know what, Uncle? Hit me up after.
But Max, that's what this second series is, and today's the first episode, man. Here we are. We're living the dream.
All right. Well, perfect. I was that reminds me. I was thinking we should have Bill Still do Money Masters 2.
Hey, let's do this, Max, because I don't like just one image dominating the screen without knowing what it is. So can you explain it if you're going to put it up?
Yeah. Sorry. So just as you were talking, it reminds me like the whole fingers in the ears, like just let's ignore it and hope it goes away. Did you here? I'll just close it. Did you hear the Seyfedin Amos preview episode of DNA of Bitcoin? You did, right?
Yes, it was brilliant.
Okay, so you know what he said after? He said, you guys should unplug that thing before somebody gets hurt.
Yes.
And so like as Todd was talking, I was hunting, I went on mute and I was hunting around for that meme that somebody made, because it's the same kind of thing. It's like the strategy is to hope that enough people don't notice, and keep squeezing long enough. Like eventually, I mean, Todd, remember when we used to talk about the historical parallels? Like the communists used to say the historical inevitability of communism being dominant, something like that. I kind of like use as my starting point our monetary dominance and over the very, very long term and work back from there. Because if you understand the monetary history of 1913, as that chart just shows, like your ice cube is melting. It's just a question of the rate at which it melts any particular day, week, month, and year. Right now, it happens to be particularly hot, but the trend is only in one direction. And once you have that light bulb moment and realize that you can opt out of that paradigm and opt into a paradigm where you get richer by having a low time preference and living below your means. Essentially, we've lived in an upside down clown world economy for 50 years plus, at the very least, due to the fiat money printer go burr and the disconnection from gold. And as that rebalances, those who wake up to this paradigm shift early are going to be on the winning side in a very, very major way here over the next 5-10 years.
Max, you said it only goes one direction. And I've often wondered this when I see this. What happened at, let's call it $13 to 1991? What made that would imply that my ice cube that had melted a lot started getting a little global warming or cooling.
Let me let Todd handle that one.
Okay.
I can tell you exactly what happened there. What happened there was the beginning of the Great Depression. After the huge government-created credit boom of the 1920s, and as the economy was in the process of wringing out the excesses from all that government-created uneconomic credit, people had too much debt because the banking system under political control had gone nuts, extending credit to everybody. And the bad debts were being liquidated. And as a result, the dollar started to return to some semblance of decent value. And what was the response? The response was gold becomes illegal. The federal government takes over the entire economy and creates a decade-long depression and massive political control and an extraction of wealth from savers as they put in agricultural price controls, labor price controls, industrial cartels, and sent money printing to the moon, culminating in the orgy of money printing in World War II.
So at 1991, that was when they outlawed gold. And
no, 1933.
No,
the price, not the
price,
not the year.
Yeah,
the price.
I'm just looking at the screen here where it topped out, and
look at where it is. It's 1933, man.
1930, yes, sir. So that's
gold was gold was $20 an ounce, and then they revalued it to 35 after they took everybody's gold.
Wow.
Executive Order 6102.
Okay, so then this is good. Let's just kind of just the couple of things on here. So then it says U.S. dollar becomes the world's reserve currency.
Why? What year was that?
That was 1940.
No, it was not. Look again.
Bretton Woods, 1944 or 5. Would have been 5, right? Right after the war.
The U.S. won the war, and then the U.S. dollar became the world's reserve currency.
Okay, so that was 45.
Bretton Woods, New
Hampshire.
It was
44. It was as the war was wrapping up.
Okay, so 1944, we won the war.
In 1944, the war was basically won, but all the allies were still heavily dependent on the U.S. government. So the U.S. government called together a conference and just said, "Hey, fellas, this new post-war world we're about to create, we have a great idea. How about our currency be the leading ones? Because you guys still need our military help, right?"
There we go. And so then that happened. And it looks like, you know what? The history of the dollar should be a roller coaster ride at a Disney park, because look how fun that would be. Or a ski slope or something like that. I mean, we need
that huge decline after the US dollar becomes the world's reserve currency.
Right there, yes.
That was the super high inflation of the late 1940s. My grandmother used to tell me horror stories about that.
And so what the inflation rate went to what?
1947, 1948, inflation was 15+%.
Wow.
And they didn't know if they'd have enough food week to week. I mean,
wow.
It was a difficult time.
But that wasn't the Great Depression, was it?
No, this was after the war.
So this is the Great Depressor. More depressed depression.
They printed a ton of money, but the one thing they did do was they repealed all of the industrial regulations and they deregulated the economy. And that is the moment when the Great Depression ended. When the federal government stopped trying to control the entire economy. That's when the economy started growing again. Okay.
All right. So then we go on a little slow. So they're just printing more money. In the 60s, when it picks up, that's the Vietnam printing. And then it comes home to roost in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then 1980, they send interest rates to the moon because the dollar was in danger of dying. The Belgrade IMF conference, all the other central banks ganged up on Paul Volcker and said, "We will stop using the US dollar unless you get inflation under control." And they sent interest rates to the moon, had the worst depression in the post-war era. Mm-hmm. And that's how inflationary cycles finally end. But that only happens after the debt has been inflated away. They will inflate and make excuses until the debt is manageable, and then they will send interest rates to the moon.
So it looks like if I'm just being skeptical here, and I'm being one of those conspiratards, that the people who are running the show sure look like over the last 3 years, they used a lot of external factors to send inflation, or to prepare us to send inflation rates to the moon, because they came up with every excuse under the sun to print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Am I right? And because this stops at 2020, this is just, I mean, I think it actually should drop off all the way almost to
maybe like 50 cents.
Yeah. So
Well,
right.
US, and I know that about the methodology change, Todd. So no need to pick me here. But I go to St. Louis Fred all the time, and I look at the M1 SL and see that the M1 money supply is 21 point something trillion. February 2020, it was 4 trillion, and then during the great financial crisis, it was 1 trillion.
Show it on your screen. I love it when you.
All right.
I love it when you whip this out.
All right. Excuse my clicking.
It's all right. That's all right.
Do it.
Okay, what are we looking at here? Let's.
Oh, okay, here. Oh, you got it. Okay, perfect. Yep.
Here, let's look at the 20-year evolution.
Holy smokes, Todd! It went down month to month. Did you ever think you'd see that again? I didn't. They took it down. Wow. It used to be 21 point something. Now it's 20 point something. Something changed. Very interesting.
They took it down very slightly.
Very, 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 very interesting.
And this is why the dollar is on a tear at the moment. The dollar is killing all the other currencies.
And so let's understand the behavior of the other players in this game. So depending on how close you are to the people.
By the way, I just want to raise my hand. I just want to raise my hand saying I'm going to dig this series. I love where this is. This is
going to be fun. Yeah. Wait till we get Johnny on. He was deep inside the bowels. Holy smokes. So anyway, like, imagine you have a football game and the referee is betting on how it's going to go. And it's like, okay, fake left, go right. You know, he's like colluding with the coaches and the players and betting on the outcomes. And, you know, so there's games
for Miami.
There's games within games going on. And so getting ahead of the trading, like that chart looks like a hockey stick to me. It was going nowhere but up. And then, oh, okay, we're going to take it down a little bit. Oh, now we're going to go this way. Who could have known? And so just like, it's a harvest cycle, a culling. New people come into the casino, they lose their money. There's a wealth transfer, rinse and repeat. And so, you know, these machinations are wildly profitable for the people who perpetrate them, and that's why they happen.
Why did you stop sharing your screen? I thought you were showing.
I was being modest. I'll take it back.
No, there was the.
He loves to be seen.
No, I mean, yeah, that because I, it's not enough to just put this up there. We need to teach everyone what this means, what does this represent?
And by the way, I love when questions come through in Freeman Express or Freeman University. So if anyone doesn't understand what we're talking about, just ask the questions in there and we can respond. We all get better through that learning process. So don't be shy to ask questions. But yeah, carry on. This is great.
Well, okay. Just if I'm in kindergarten, but I'm a pretty smart kindergartner. What does this tell me all the way back to, let's say 2000, looks like 2000. 2002. Okay, 2002. So that's 20 years. And what does this represent? And why the hell is there this hockey stick at the end?
This is the M1 money supply. This is the probably the truest measure of what's called base money. Okay, so this is physical banknotes and deposits in the banking system, more or less. Okay. We can check the definition here. Here, let's. Is they're gonna have the types of commercial bank money, the blah blah blah. Okay, so they don't have a good definition. M1, to my recollection, is cash and bank deposits, and maybe a few other categories of things like CDs and other cash-like instruments.
Okay.
So it's a measure of cash in the economy, and what constitutes money in a fiat banking system is a very complicated question, because you have this whole spectrum. Government bonds often act very close to money. Commercial loans increase the money supply. But if you just look at the narrow money supply, what you see is, first of all, steady increase for the past 20 years up until 2020, with almost a tripling over that time. That slow, gradual rise, they almost tripled the money supply.
Okay, now for me, being a kindergartner, how you could explain it to me is anytime our government gets together and they push through these bills to where they need to print more money or supply more money or tax us more to be able to get more money, that's why this is trending up. So where it used to be that on an annual basis, maybe they would print billions of dollars.
Here, let's tell the story, okay?
Yeah.
Before the global financial crisis in 2008, it was rising. So from 2002 until 2008, it went up by almost 20%, okay?
So is this our national debt?
No, this is money. This is printed money.
Okay, this is the money printer going boom.
This is the burr sound on the money printer.
Okay, got it. Makes sense.
In the few years before the global financial crisis in 2008, you saw a 20% increase in the money supply.
Okay.
In the 10 years after that, it went from 1,500 to 4,000. So almost a tripling over the subsequent decade. Okay.
Yeah.
But then watch this.
Jesus. I mean, you will own nothing and be happy.
You will own
nothing. While we were all, here's what happened very simply. While we were all discussing whether it should be one mask, 2, 3, or none, our pockets were getting picked. That's what happened.
I mean, look at how much money they infused into the system. Now,
it's not money, it's currency. Sorry to be so pedantic.
No. Well, teach us the difference. What is the difference between money and currency?
In JP Morgan's era, he said gold is money, everything else is credit. And today I say Epic is money, everything else is credit.
All right. That doesn't tell me what the difference between money and currency.
Okay. So yeah. So basically money is something that you have in your, like I think of money as something that doesn't depend on the performance of anyone else. If I have a lump of gold and I put it on the counter and you give me some, a barrel of wheat or whatever, like I have money that I can use right now today to satisfy obligations that is not universally, but is accepted as an intermediate tool, so that we don't have to do barter because I want your wheat. And how did I get the gold? Is because I sold some ink cartridges to get that gold. So for me, Epic is money because it doesn't depend on the performance or existence of any specific counterparty or thing. And so currency, like you take away the Federal Reserve, you take away the US political entity, you take away the banking system, you take away, any one of these various ingredients, and the system goes poof. Wow. Like a lump of gold in my hand, Epic to me is the superlative form of money that exists on this planet today.
Would you agree with that definition, Todd Lewis?
I think it's a reasonable definition. You have choices as you, and this very quickly becomes an angels on the head of a pin.
Yeah. Okay.
Because different people's philosophies project meaning into these terms in different ways.
But with this, but let's just talk about the real consequences here of this hockey stick, because this is what we're living today. When we start talking to our grandkids,
and this is why the discussion about the nature of money and what problem we're trying to solve in Epic is not just a discussion about the Epic price, right?
Okay, unpack that further then.
There are monetary problems to be solved.
Yes. Okay. And we're looking at it right here.
And right around here, when the band got together and we decided to create Epic Cash, one of the major motivations for doing so was we believed this lay in our future. Right?
You believed what? You went out on us.
We believed that massive money printing lay in our future.
Jeez. So you are now You are now. I'm handing the baton to you. You are the new Todd Radamas.
It's not that hard to see, man. Because the federal government is fundamentally bankrupt. Debt to GDP is at all-time highs.
Yeah.
There's way too many obligations on the part of politically connected people, and they have a tool for solving it. Inflation solves it. And so inflation is what we're going to get.
Okay, so when I look at this hockey stick, can I kind of just in my mind say, look, that reflects inflation, or inflation is going to be a trailing indicator of that?
It depends on whether you're a conservative or an anarchist, libertarian economist, or whether you're a socialist economist.
Okay, so this is Austrian economics versus
make believe.
Versus make believe political economics. Yeah.
Okay.
They used to call it political economy, and they did that for a reason.
I still call it that.
Fair enough.
Okay. So
the central bankers say inflation is an increase in prices, and then they try to maneuver the definition of the prices so that it's always the lowest possible value.
Oh,
how
about this?
Austrians believe that inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon. This is the inflation. It's on the screen.
Okay.
This is the graph of the inflation.
The kindergartner here. We asked earlier, what's going on? Why did it go down? You know what? If you take a look at this, and this tracks with if inflation is a trailing indicator and you get up to the top, I think they're having an oh shit moment. The elections are coming up. Gas is at an all-time high. We need to start scaling this back a little bit so that we can get out there to get elected the next time and be able to say, look, we've been responsible. You see the trend. It's because of us, so they can get elected again and then they can do the next hike up. That's just a theory, but I don't think it's a bad one.
I don't think it's a bad one.
Well, so it's been about 250 years. So that's been 60 election cycles, more or less. So these gangs that have been running these schemes have had 60 practice runs to do it. So I think so. I mean, first principles. In 2028, there will be 20.3 million Epic. How many of these Federal Reserve digital whatevers are there going to be? Probably a lot more than 21 trillion. So, if you have wealth in other forms, you kind of have to ask yourself at a certain point, why do I own these things? And in many cases, there are great reasons. Like I can't buy things at the store today using Epic. So I need to have dollars in my life. But at a certain point, when you don't foresee a need for dollars 7 years from now, or 7 months from now, or 7 weeks from now, or whatever, you just go, wait, like aside from inertia and nostalgia, why do I keep doing money the old-fashioned way? And increasingly, as people come into our world, they start thinking and denominating and living their lives in Epic terms, and as a result of that, they grow wealthier. Enrique told me that in Honduras, a liter of gas is 87% cheaper than a year ago in Epic terms. So inflation is not a thing for him.
Interesting. Well, Max, may I make a request for Friday's Epic Cash Live? Can we dig in a little bit more to Freeman Express and what that might look like?
Yes.
And if you'd
I would love to.
If you'd like to get Johnny and Alpha on that one, since it's late notice, give them a little bit more notice. Because you had me at hello on that one, because I think that is just, you talk about a force multiplier, game changer, whatever, to where my Epic that I hold, my precious Epic that I hold, if I can actually be using that in the real world through whether it's these cards that I carry in my wallet or whatever, that just is a fundamental game changer, because I then know I'm in an appreciating asset versus that same plastic card that's connected to my fiat dollars in the bank that's melting. I really like this idea. So if we could just give everyone the little carrot to tune in on Friday, that would be great. Todd Lewis,
sorry.
Yeah, go
Sorry,
ahead.
guys, I got a phone call, but I'm back. Yeah, absolutely. So, been working on it a long time. Happy to show a little leg finally because it's getting so close. But basically, when you walk into a store, imagine you have a card. Visa, Mastercard, of course, is accepted everywhere. So imagine one of those. I'll decline to get into specific details. But
I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, wait, and what's this have to do with a pregnancy test? I thought you were screen sharing, Max.
Screen sharing. Oh no, sorry.
Todd has the pregnancy test on, so when you started talking,
I was
like trying to reconcile
funny.
what I was
I'm
looking.
dying to show it. I'm waiting my turn.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I had the phone in my pocket. I had closed my desktop window for my 10 o'clock. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy to do it. Basically, if you have a monetary value as Epic, you will be able to access that spending power through a physical card or many physical cards, gift cards, one-time use debit cards, that are generated to like use on Amazon and stuff that you don't want them to be able to ding you on a recurring basis, stuff like that. All kinds of financial magic are going to become possible in the coming weeks, months, quarters, and years through Freeman Express.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I know you have a hard stop, so thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks,
we'll
see you next week. Bye.
All right, and Todd, I'm seeing this right now. Can I just ask? This is a challenge to the community. As you were talking about this, where did I write it? Shit. Oh, here it is. I have a challenge to the community. All of you memers, I want it to be 16 by 9, please. Anybody who ever wants me to use your art for my thumbnails, do yourself a favor and format it 16 by 9, because I'm not going to use anything else. I keep saying that, and people keep having these alternative memes that I love, but I'll never be able to use them because they don't fit. But I'm imagining a 16 by 9 meme that is a pregnancy test, okay? Except the screen is an Epic coin, and then on the right, the two buttons are buy and sell. So one is green, one is red. I think that would be a great thumbnail for this show to honor your discovery here of this pregnancy test, Todd. Okay, go ahead.
Well, and technically, there's nothing stopping us from running Epic on these devices.
Okay. You mean the whole blockchain?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What other projects out there are talking about, running the blockchain on pregnancy test kits?
Now, we're not going to spend time on it because it's not actually important. But the point is, how are you going to outlaw something that can run on a $2 disposable pregnancy test, and where the only thing you really need to know is some fundamental mathematics?
It's amazing. That's amazing.
How are you going
to? I find it encouraging. I find it encouraging in these. And let's everybody, PSA here, public service announcement. Let's just remember that everything that you see that is mainstream media, I'm talking everything, is controlled. So it is to hypnotize you and to get you thinking, and mostly it's to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And so what you're looking at here is an engineer who's fearless, who knows his math, knows how to smash ones and zeros together. And I, as an Epic Cash coin holder, that helps me sleep at night, because
it's not me, it's a global community.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But you're the one that's representing the global community from a tech standpoint right now, and you are the one that has shared with the world that your pregnancy test came up as a video game. So that tells us something about you, Todd Lewis.
I have 6 kids, so I've been treating a pregnancy test a video game for a long time. So.
6 kids. Give me the breakdown, boys, girls.
Half and half.
Okay. Wow. I'm part of Colleen, Karen, Kim, Tom, Tim, Todd. My dad started with 3 girls and then ended up with 3 boys, and I was the final one. They came to Uncle Vigilante and they said, "Whoa, time out. We're not going for the 7th." But amazing. So this is fun. Everyone in the there was a question that maybe you can answer, Todd. I think you can, even though it's about Freeman Express. I don't know how much you're involved in that. But somebody had said, well, if Freeman Express is going to be an exchange of sorts, then for it to be legal, it's going to need KYC. So then how can your transactions be private on a KYC? If you're going in and you're buying Epic Cash, then somebody's going to know that you're buying Epic Cash because you went through the KYC.
If you choose to buy and sell Epic Cash through a KYC exchange, then it's going to be disclosed.
But then
if you choose to buy and sell Epic Cash and take out an advertisement in the New York Times telling people that you've done it, then it's going to be disclosed. It's a private choice. It's up to you.
Okay, so then the question is, though, once you would take your coins off of the exchange, not your keys, not your coins, then
and the protections of Mimble-Wimble kick in.
Okay, so you can go buy it on a KYC exchange, get it to the native chain through one of our wallets, and Mimble-Wimble basically just puts out this umbrella, and you're poof, they're gone.
More or less, yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted everybody.
There are all kinds of depths that you can take the privacy to using Mimble-Wimble.
Okay.
But the door is open to you to do so.
Okay, that's good. No, that's important for those of us who are just really, really hyper, focused on security and privacy. So for me, the advent of Freeman Express to be able to open up Epic to the world in a way that we control, meaning we don't have these exchanges saying that you have to provide these BS market makers that are out there, and the liquidity on both sides, and basically just making an impossibility for a coin that doesn't have centralization to be listed on these exchanges without big money behind them. It excites me greatly because that's as my good friend and boss Rich says, Toddy, if you're going to achieve mass adoption, you need the masses. And he was talking about accessibility.
I believe he's correct about that.
Yeah, he's describing accessibility to Epic Cash, understandability, usability, all of these abilities that if you really want mass adoption, you have to fill in, you have to check those boxes to attract the masses. But I feel that we're working on a roadmap that we're going to be able to deliver those. Do you, Todd?
I do.
There you go. So the fact that Todd Lewis just said, I do, means we're kind of married now. So I think we'll call it a week. So no, Todd, can you just give us, because really this is going to be a lot about your agenda moving forward on what you want to discuss each week from a monetary, the death of monetary policy standpoint. What do you have in mind as far as where this series goes?
Well, we have all these historical examples of where debt levels have been high, government debt levels and corporate debt levels. And then the central banks use their tool to solve the problem. They print a bunch of money and they inflate away the debt. Mm-hmm. And this is the problem that the circumstance that we will face over the next 10 to 20 years throughout the Western world in the highly indebted economies. And this is, I think, at the core of the tension between digital central bank currencies, mm-hmm. be they the current generation of FedWire or the future's CBDC versions or whatever they want to do, but political money, where the price of money is set by a committee of political appointees sitting in a government building in Washington, D.C., mm-hmm. versus a form of money where the price is set by supply and demand, and where the supply is known and fixed, and where people can have certainty that their saving and spending vehicle is something that's not going to be constantly stolen from them out the back door by, you have a rare Pokemon card and then a million more just like it are printed. It's suddenly not so rare.
Example. That's a great example.
It's suddenly not so rare, right?
Yeah.
And this is this is right at the heart of why crypto is important and what role it should play in society. It's an opportunity for civil society, for society outside of the government and the political class, to choose forms of money that aren't subject to political control if they want.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see you again next week, Todd. And everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Looks like we had a lot of great activity in there. So with that, I think we're going to call this a successful launch to the new series. And as always, just thank you, man. I appreciate it. Now, does this time work for you? Does this time work for you next week, or did
it does?
Okay. All right, everyone. All right. Hope to see everyone on Friday at noon Eastern time. Until